Okay, so today I'm going to tidy up a bit of hazel coppice. Now in Britain the common policy is with hazel coppicing is, and I don't agree with it, as you will find out why, the common policy is that all this has to come out. Oops. It all has to come out, and all that comes out, and all that comes out, and then because there's deer everywhere, you put up a big expensive fence right round the whole thing, and it requires extra money to pay people to do the work. The deer fences become a liability quite quickly, if you ask me. People never get round to taking them down. I've walked into managed coppices and inside the fence and found dead deer where they've jumped in and can't get out. And what you end up with inside is very often pretty useless stuff. It's very much, there's always a sign up, you know, congratulations, we've coppiced this piece of woodland, but it makes no sense to me, and I'll show you why. Firstly, the deer fence, if you do it my way, which I'm going to show you in a minute, you'll see that the deer fence is completely unnecessary. Okay, I'll get cracking. Okay, first thing I've done is I've taken that bit out. I can use that for charcoal or firewood. Mostly I use it for charcoal though. And straight away, we've killed two birds with one stone in 15 seconds. I've got myself some charcoal wood. I've helped clear the track, and now let's have a look what we've got here. Now this all starts to look a bit more like it. Now then, I've got no big, this is crap. That's coming out in a minute. In fact, I'll get that out now. Okay, there we are. Now I can see two things here. I can see this lot, which is obviously younger than this bit. I can see that that bit may well have some potential for something in the future. Maybe a yurt trellis pole or a washing line prop. Not that they're very popular nowadays, but there we are. And another thing is, I've got no use for it right now. I've got use for charcoal wood right now, but I don't have use for this right now. And by growing a bit more, it's not going to harm it. I've seen it, I know where it is. Doesn't mean I'll remember it, but I know where it is now. And as far as I'm concerned, that is a great start. If I take the whole thing out, if I chop the whole thing down right there, see, look at this. This could grow into this bit here could grow into something brilliant. Really nice washing line prop or a walking stick or something. I've got no use for it now. If I chop it down, it gets in the way, it dies. Also, if I chop it down, it exposes all the rest of this hazel to deer browsing. The deer will come along and they'll just munch it. Often I find they don't, you know, if it's by a wall, a dry stone wall, and you want to get rid of the hazel, you chop it all down and you think to yourself, oh, the deer will come along and eat it off, job done. I've moved the hazel from against the wall where it's a liability. Great stuff. The deer never do a good enough job. So, but anyway, I'll leave that like that. Any new growth that comes from this stump, okay, the deer may come and eat it off. But actually that's doing me a favour, because I've identified some things in here that I can use in the future. Also, if the deer eat the regrowth from this, they're not going to kill it. They can't kill it. They can't eat this. They're not going to eat this or that. You know, it's not going to happen. So there we are. We've eliminated the need of the deer fence straight away. Now, this one next door, look, because it's been left for so long, it's died. You know, it's dying. It's rotting. You know, we've got all this rotten wood in the middle of it. You know, now if there'd been rotten wood in there, I take it out while I'm here. Fundamentally, what I'm doing is I'm paying it some attention. And you know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work that out. You know, I'm saving time, money, and what it shows me is that this common practice that is you know, recommended by the Forestry Commission and these other grant giving bodies, I'm sorry, but it's completely and utterly out of date. You know, why spend money on a great big expensive deer fence, and they're expensive, and that's all you need to do. I get some charcoal wood out of it and I come along and it looks tidy. And if somebody comes along tomorrow and says, hey, I need a pole such and such a length, I have a good idea where I'll find one. Right, I'll finish chopping this up and show you the finished product. So we've got a minimal amount of brash. Okay, brash is a nuisance working in woodlands. You have to do something with it, you know, and it's a hazard. You can trip over it. Keeping the brash to a minimum is a great way of preventing accidents. You know, people say, oh, you should chop the whole thing down and put the brash over the stump. I don't agree. I do not agree. I agree that there are a lot of deer around. I do. And in some cases they can do some damage. But mostly the concept of deer damage actually nowadays in the UK is based on them jumping into people's gardens, the damage they can do in people's gardens. Well, they're attracted to people's gardens in many ways, and you know, if your garden wasn't quite so attractive, they might not jump in. What have we got here? Oh. So I put that brash over there. There's not a huge amount of it. Move this bit over there. Also, the thing with deer is, let's face it, if there's too many of them, let's eat them. And in many respects, this can't look. See, I've got half a barrel load of charcoal wood there, which I'll come and collect at a later date when I'm filling the kiln up. I chop it this size because it might go for firewood. While you've got the timber there in your hands, don't chop it in 3-foot lengths. Chop it in wood burner size lengths, charcoal making size lengths, while you've got it in the first place, while it's there. I see so many coppice projects with piles of wood 3 foot long, piled up, rotting, wasted inside a huge fence that fundamentally is preventing the wood from being removed. They put the fence up first, go in, chop all the wood down, and then can't get the wood out because the fence is in the way. Beggars belief. So anyway, there we are. I've got a bit of charcoal wood there. Didn't take long, did it? If I went through these, which I will eventually, and this bit, I'll end up, you know, with a nice big pile of charcoal wood, which is worth having. It's what I do for a living, amongst other things. And we'll have all this tidied up. And trust me, it'll look a lot healthier when I've finished with it. Okay. Hope you found that interesting. Bye bye.